to all my awesome YouTube fans. How you doing today? Well, thank you so much for tuning today's awesome vlog. Here's what I'm doing today. We're gonna talk about these devices. My alarm clocks, basically. My old Philips alarm clock and also the new alarm clock. I know a lot of you are gonna say, Chris, it's the 21st century. You should be using your iPhone for your time and alarm. Hey, it doesn't matter what you use. You can use whatever you choose. But here's the thing. When I was very young, like 16 and 15 and 2003, it was no such thing of smartphones back in the day like we do now. But yes, I do use my iPhone for the time and also for the alarm if I'm at a friend's house or something like that. But I basically like using traditional digital alarm clocks. For example, like this old beast you have seen multiple times in my videos. But you're gonna say, Chris, why did you replace it? Well, for a couple of reasons. The display is fine going on it because it's now a 16-year-old device, and the Sony clock is actually a lot newer than this old thing. But let's go ahead and show you what I mean. Let me guys explain a little bit about why things break and the reason why we live in a society where everything is thrown away by new. But basically anything and everything can eventually die over time. But I had this old Philips clock for almost 16 years because it was built in 2003 when I was 16. I was still in school. I was still in high school when I actually got this clock, basically, and it still works today. But the only problem is the liquid display is starting to go, and the LEDs backlit is also starting to fade and starting to die. That's the reason why I decided I think it's time to buy a new clock. Let's go and show you what I mean, and let's go. For a lot of you who don't understand the history of this old clock like I do, basically it's my very first clock I got when I was a teenager. This was my very first piece of tech back in the day, and yes, it actually still has a CD player, basically. But I don't know if the camera can pick it up or not, but sometimes when the numbers do change, you can see the numbers do actually fade on it a little bit. But here's my new one, basically right here. The only thing I kind of dislike about my new one is how shiny the plastic is, basically. I can explain more about the history of myself and the history of my older tech. I've been messing around with technology for years, and understanding of older tech can actually be better than the newer tech we buy today. But here's the thing. We all like newer stuff, we all like newer tech, and that's perfectly fine. But sometimes newer is not always better. It can be quite frustrating, quite very annoying to understand how things physically work. Yes, if you can kind of see, I have a brand new somewhat TV over there and my computer and stuff like that. But I try my best to understand tech myself and how to use it. Same thing like my alarm clocks, basically. For example, which one do you guys like the most? Basically, I honestly, to tell you the truth, I actually like my new one. I think it looks a lot nicer and it's more up to date, and it's also 10 times smaller than this one, basically. But let me explain. This actual alarm clock has two speakers, a left and a right, on either side. Unfortunately, with this one, it only has a one single speaker, means this is a mono alarm clock, versus this one is actual a stereo alarm clock. You're gonna say, Chris, it doesn't have two speakers. Actually, it does. There's one now. And it's actually one on this side. There you go. Means this actually has a stereo sound around speakers and it's pretty cool. All of you younger out there and who's a teenager and stuff like that, let me kind of explain something to all of you. You don't always need the best of technology. It all pertains of how that piece of technology, actual physical, works for you. You don't need the latest iPhone, the latest iPad, the latest Mac, or Windows computers or Windows PCs, because some of the newer tech can be very complicated to use and not always understanding of how a product actually works. For example, let me explain to a lot of you out there. This clock, okay, is by Philips, the company who made this device, actually makes it very easy to use and operate. But here is everything you need to know about this clock. Yes, it is made in China, okay, and yes, here is the year on it, June of 2003, okay, but not every piece of tech is going to be better versus the other one type of tech is out there. Some people like old technology, some people may like newer technology. For example, like my printer over there and my computer right over there is actual a brand new system. But not everybody needs the newest and latest. And how and things how you can make it work for you is the best options for you. But alright, if you guys enjoy this brand new channel, please hit that subscribe button. Leave an awesome comment down below. Please like, please share. Peace out. We'll hopefully see you in the future vlog. And have a nice day.